I want to talk to you about the law of success for IP lawyers. So, if you are an IP lawyer this year, I want you to really apply some of those laws that I want to share with you into this conversation. But before I get into anything, we need to understand what makes a good patent attorney. Okay, because the thing is that when it comes to patent law, you have a very dynamic, I would say, sector that actually revolves around what's happening nationally, but also what happens internationally. Because when it comes to patent, the whole idea about intellectual property revolves around the fact that you want to protect your client's your client's work, your client's creativity at the international level. So when you are a patent attorney in this country, you have to be aware of changes in the whole world. Okay. So for startups and entrepreneurs, innovation is at the heart of their business. So protecting these innovations through patents is kind of crucial, not just to safeguard intellectual property, but to actually gain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Again, we are speaking about a global marketplace, not just a national marketplace, not just a US marketplace, but global marketplace. So whether you are launching a groundbreaking tech product or creating a unique piece of hardware, you want to really make sure clients, that's what I mean. Clients want to make sure they get a good patent attorney so that the attorney can help them secure the rights to their invention. Okay. And it's important to really have a clear idea about that because clients don't just don't just Google a patent attorney and reach out to the attorney. No, you as the patent attorney, whether you are an aspiring patent attorney or you are an existing one, you have a current practice, you need to position yourself in the specific niche that you want to go after. So simply just sitting there and hoping that startup founders or business owners will reach out to you, it's not going to happen. You have to be proactive. So this is what I want to share with you into this conversation. Basically, the foundation that you need to lay out to make sure that your IP law practice is very successful, appeals to the right target audience, and that target audience can reach out to you in return in real time. So if you want to be a successful intellectual property lawyer, you have to pay attention to your education. And I'm not just speaking about the university where you go to get your JD. No, your alma mater matters, but to a certain point, because the when it comes to intellectual property, education is a lifelong process. It's a lifelong practice. You have to constantly, I would say, update or re-update your knowledge. Okay, so your educational background and licensing is really important. So basically, before you become a patent attorney, you got to have a law degree. Okay, and you got to be licensed to practice in your respective jurisdiction. See, the thing is, if you're licensed to practice in your respective jurisdiction, you can actually apply your law expertise to the whole world. Actually, what I'm trying to say is if you are let's say a patent attorney licensed to practice in New York State, for instance, you can actually defend clients who are in New York, but also in Paris, in Beijing, in Johannesburg, in Abuja, whatever. Okay, so basically, you need to also pass the patent bar exam, which allows you to represent clients before the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO. Okay, so you got to have that if you want to be a successful IP lawyer. You have to really pass the patent bar exam so that you can really represent clients before the USPTO. Okay, and also what you want to have here is that if you want to be successful over the long run as a patent attorney, you got to have a technical or scientific background, such as a degree in engineering, biology, or computer science, because patents often involve complex technologies. Okay, so you also got to have you got to constantly pursue specialization in intellectual property law. And again, this is a constant process. This is a gradual process. This is not a one-time done thing. Okay. So while any licensed attorney can technically file a patent, You want someone specializing, like clients want someone specializing in intellectual property law. And this is important because the nuances of IP law require expertise that goes beyond general legal practice. So, as a patent attorney, if you focus on IP, you will not only know the law, but will also keep up with recent changes, such as shifts in patenting trends, but also updates to USPTO guidelines. So, another law of success for intellectual property lawyers has to revolve around your experience, but not just any type of experience. You got to have experience with startups and entrepreneurs because they are the foundation of your law practice, but also your IP law practice. But they're also the source of anything that revolves around patents. Okay, and also you need to understand the inventors, industry, and technology. So let me first talk about that because this is kind of crucial. So when I say understanding the inventors, industry, and technology, you need to understand that patent law cannot be approached with a one-size-fits-all mentality. This is a diverse field. This is what I call a multi-dimensional field. Okay, industries vary widely in the types of innovations they produce, and if you want to be an excellent attorney, you will know the specific requirements that apply to your field. Okay, and so when I say a little earlier that you got to have experience with startups and entrepreneurs, what I really mean is that you got to really come to terms with the fact that startups constantly face different challenges than established corporations. So if you want to be an excellent patent attorney, you got to have you need to understand those shifts, especially if you have extensive experience working with startups. You need to understand the challenges that startups and entrepreneurs face, from limited funding to the need for fast-paced development. So you can tailor your strategies you can tailor your strategies to their needs. Okay, so just make sure that you are able to help other startup founders successfully file patents and protect their intellectual property. This is how you are going to solidify your reputation in the industry. If you have a proven track record of filing patents for entrepreneurs successfully, that's really important. So if you want to really be a successful intellectual property lawyer, you got to have industry experience, industry expertise. Like I told you a little earlier, you can't just be an attorney, a regular attorney, you can't just have a JD and just hope to actually pivot to intellectual property. And the same way that, so if you are thinking about an IP lawyer in biopharmacy or biotechnology, this IP lawyer will not have the same expertise that an IP lawyer in fintech industry really needs. Okay, so industry expertise really matters big time. So if you are an attorney with a diverse technical background, you're able to create stronger applications by highlighting the unique aspects of your invention. For instance, filing a patent for a pharmaceutical formula differs vastly from filing a patent for a mechanical tool, right? Every industry is different, the specs are different, and the expectations are different too. So you want to understand your industry so that you can identify potential infringement issues or competitors' patents that could pose obstacles. And also, if you have success stories in industry specific cases, that can help you big time. Okay. So this is really important. What I want to say here is that if you want to really be successful, think about technology, but you want to really position yourself as an attorney who has worked with startups, okay, who has actually provided tailored solutions. The keyword is there. The keyword is tailored, not just general, vague solutions. No, You want to have you want to be someone who actually has helped on very specific cases. So when it comes to IP law, if you want to be a successful lawyer, it's important to have a clear and transparent communication. I mean, everything revolves around your accessibility. That's pretty true, right? But you gotta also be transparent in how you communicate. You have to articulate pretty clearly the way you have to articulate your defense of IP cases, of patent cases, on behalf of your clients. So when you communicate with your prospects or clients, don't use legal jargon. Nobody needs that, okay? And you have to understand that legal jargon is already overwhelming for startups and entrepreneurs. So you want to simplify the process by explaining complex terms and requirements in an easy to understand way. That's how you are going to build credibility. This is how you're going to build authority vis-a-vis your interlocutors, okay? So you want to be able to walk your clients through every stage of the patent application, from drafting to submission, and so that you basically are keeping everybody in the everybody in the lights, so to speak. Okay. Also, you want to be accessible throughout the process. If you want to be a successful IP lawyer, you got to be there all the time, because you need to understand patents don't happen overnight. This is a long process. The process can involve multiple revisions and correspondences with legal entities. You know that already. If you're an IP lawyer, you know that already. But you have to understand that the clients doesn't know that, and it's up to you to avail yourself throughout the process. So you want to be accessible and responsive to questions or updates. Okay, so you want to offer regular status updates, and you also want to adapt your communication preferences via email, video calls, or in-person meetings. Everything depends on the kind of access you want to have for your clients. Also, if you want to be a successful IP lawyer, you gotta really track your record, and This is how you build a proven track record gradually. Okay, so you want to you want to show evidence of your capability when you reach out to new clients, when you pitch to new clients. If you want to be a successful IP attorney, you need to understand that your credentials should be pretty clear, pretty, I would say, spotless. Okay, your credentials are really important because you want to understand. You want to understand that for the client, this is a big leap of faith for them to trust something so important to you. So entrust something so important to you, you got to make sure that you are the right person for them. And the way you do this is to actually, let's say, polish your credentials. For example, you want to register with a USPTO. This is so important. You cannot actually skip that. You want to register with a USPTO, and you also want to be on professional professional networking sites like LinkedIn. Okay, so you want to put on those on LinkedIn, for instance, you want to put your qualifications, you want to put client reviews, you want to put some peer endorsements. It's all about constructing a profile that is as professional as possible. And also, you want to pay attention to legal fees and budgeting. So the way you actually the way you approach clients is to be very transparent from the get-go. So you have to understand, when it comes to patent law, when it comes to patent filing, you are talking primarily to startups. You are talking primarily to small business owners. You are talking primarily to entrepreneurs, right? Those people, those business players, don't always have the funds, but they want to secure their future by filing patent applications. So money becomes an important element for them. So you want to be as transparent as possible. You want to explain the whole process, how much you charge. Okay. So if you're talking, for instance, to a startup operating on a tight budget, you understand that money becomes a significant issue for them. But this should not be a limiting factor or a blocking factor. This should not be a deal breaker. Money should be an element that enables them to get to their revenue generation, I would say, position. Okay, and you are going to help them get to that level. So the thing is that when it comes to being a successful intellectual property lawyer, you gotta have fee structures that really clarify things from the get-go. And I mean it from the get-go. Don't wait until your client is already 6 months with you or 9 months with you before clarifying everything. No, you want to say things from the get-go so that they know whether or not this is the right time for you. See, the fact that they don't go with you right now is not an indictment on your quality as an IP lawyer. No, it's just their readiness because they gotta be ready. It's not just the money aspect of things. It's also the commitment in terms of operational efficiency. Their ability to provide you with all the paperwork they need to provide, their ability to meet you, their ability to get back to you, to respond to you, to your emails, all that kind of stuff. That requires commitment. So a lot of IP lawyers think that basically to get clients who are committed, it's always about the money. No, because see, the money can come. Your clients can have access to financing. If they don't have the cash now, they could probably tap into a loan, a business loan, or some business credit card, or some kind of financing. Okay, to actually pay for the patent application, especially if they know that patent is kind of can be instrumental to their business model. They will be willing to invest in that. So you as a patent attorney, if you want to be successful, be transparent. I said that before, okay? And you want to choose how you charge. That's what transparency also means. Because as a patent attorney, you may charge hourly rates, flat fees, or operate on a hybrid model. So ensure that you are clear on your fee structure upfront. Ensure that the client knows what to expect. Okay. So don't just try to appear affordable. No, you want to first talk about the value you are adding, because that's the value that you are actually selling. It's not the price. Okay. So you also want to talk about how you are going to handle the whole USPTO process, how you're going to draft the application, how you are going to take care of the whole patent search process, how you are going to draft any legal responses required by the USPTO. Okay, because all these things actually trigger some cost. And the clients, if you actually put on all those costs at the beginning, the clients may actually exit the whole conversation because there'll be too much for them to handle at the very first sight. But if you do things gradually, if you are able to speak to them about the different processes that they have to go through, then they can navigate those cost what I call cost hiccups, easily than if you were to just dump everything on them at once. As a takeaway to this conversation, I give you the law of success for intellectual property lawyer and for intellectual property lawyers, and explain to you everything you need to know about being a successful IP lawyer this year. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.